not even a month later, picking up a new offense. I don't understand why I should continue you.
I didn't even know I caught that charge, to be honest with you. I mean, I was surprised when they came and picked me up with the warrant because I never had been stopped or anything. And then all of a sudden I just end up in jail.
Judgment sprung, in and out, the verdict swung. Oouchie Car Watch, we've just begun. Oouchie Car Watch, we're on the scene. Truths unraveling, what does it mean?
20 years old.
All righty, do better, okay?
For this man.
All right. Donald Barnett. Who's the attorney for Donald Barnett?
Ready, Your Honor.
All right, are you all ready to proceed on the motion to revoke?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court is calling 2022 CR 9214, State of Texas versus Donald Lee Barnett Jr. Can I have parties announced for the state?
Andrew Paris Edelman.
Defense?
Oscar Rio.
And are you Mr. Donald Lee Barnett Jr.?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you review the document entitled Motion to Enter Adjudication of Guilt and Revoke Community Supervision with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you the same Donald Lee Barnett Jr. who's placed on deferred adjudication in 2022 CR 9214 for the offense of credit card or debit card abuse elderly on March 9, 2023 for a period of 2 years? Is that you? All right, state.
On or about the 26th day of June 2024 in Kerr County, Texas, the defendant Donald Lee Barnett committed the offense of manufacture or deliver controlled substance PG1 in violation of condition number.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True.
Waive the remaining violation allegation, Your Honor.
Any objection to the
No
waivers?
objection, Your Honor.
All right, did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 1, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, and sentence you up to 10 years in the prison and up to $10,000 fine? Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 1? Court will find violation of condition number 1 true. Is there a proposed agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
And what is the proposed agreement?
Adjudicate guilt and place on regular probation. Run concurrent with his probation in Kerr County.
That's your agreement, Your Honor.
All right, so what is this new number 1 in Kerr County about? I mean, the number 1, what you all pled to, the number 1?
Yes, Your Honor.
So what is the allegation with the amount of drugs? Because it says
Possession.
manufacture or delivery.
No, my client says they reduced it to possession.
Position 1 to 4.
State, was it reduced to possession?
That I don't know, Your Honor.
I'm sorry, I think I sent you guys an email about it, because I think I got some information on it. Give me 1 second.
All right. Well, don't send me the email if you'll send it to, all right. So if you all can step back and confirm
Yes, Your
that,
Honor.
because I need to know some more
Yes, Your Honor.
things. Do you all have the information on Barnett? All right, we're back on the record in 2022 CR 9214, State versus Donald Barnett. So did parties have an opportunity to review whatever document as it relates to his charge in the other county?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so to the court's questions, was it manufacturing and delivery or something else?
He's charged with manufacture and deliver, but convicted of possession controlled substance PG 1 1 to 4.
Okay,
Placed on supervision for 10 years with a 10-year underlying sentence.
okay. And probation, what is your request with regards to Barnett?
Judge, the court summary.
I have.
For
All right, thank you. What is the offense date on the case that he was given probation for?
Oh. I'm not quite sure. Your Honor.
March 15th, 2024.
Okay.
Yes. March 15th.
Okay. All right, Mr. Barnett. You've been before me on a previous violation. And you're not doing well, so I don't understand why I should continue you.
Actually,
Because I mean, we were here in April.
Right.
And in April, a motion to revoke was filed because you were not reporting. I allowed you to transfer to Carefield. I did a patch, the UA hotline. And then you end up not even a month later picking up a new offense. I don't understand why I should continue you.
I didn't even know I caught that charge, to be honest with you. I mean, I was surprised when they came and picked me up with the warrant, because I never had been stopped or anything. And then all of a sudden I just end up in jail.
I had nothing to do with the case, Your Honor. He's already pled on it.
Yeah.
So all I'm asking, Your Honor, is to allow him to do this probation along with the probation. He's facing, not only your, whatever, years you assess on him and the years of probation, but he's also looking at 10 years in Kerr County.
All right, I don't think he's a good candidate. And part of the reason is that there was a previous, when he entered into his plea in this case, there was a case of credit card abuse to elderly that was taken in consideration. And then he picks up a new drug charge. And he picks it up after he was given another opportunity on probation. I just don't think he's a good candidate for probation.
I understand, Your Honor. I'm
Okay.
just asking for it to at least give him another opportunity to do so. He's got, like I say, the one in Kerr County and the one here, so he's got plenty of hammers over his head, and if he doesn't do what he's supposed to, then he's going to prison for a very long time.
All right. Court is gonna find you guilty. The court is gonna revoke. The court can sentence you anywhere between 2 to 10 years. I'm not gonna grant your application for probation. So with regards to sentencing, has he done anything on probation other than picking up new charges and previously not reporting? Has he completed anything?
Well, on the MTR, the only thing I see right there is the new charge and the hours.
Okay. So has he done any, it says
He was-
here that he was supposed to do 200 hours of community service restitution. Has he done any community service hours?
I have not, but before I got picked up, I had all that in the mix. I had, got in touch with the VFW in Curry
Mhm.
to start doing my hours. And then I had a job lined up for an interview that same day. So things were just starting to pick up for me, because I redid my resume and put it online on Indeed, and I was just trying to get back on track.
All right, state what time would you be asking for? All right. Then the court will sentence you to 2 years in the prison. Give you credit for any time served. And there's the previous no contact orders with Brenda Boyd, Margarita Sealy, or any members of their families or household. And of course, I'll give you credit for any time served. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it? All right, you do have a right to appeal. That right to appeal is limited as it relates to the allegations in the motion, not the fact that you were on deferred adjudication. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Sure.
All right, good luck to you.
Thank you,
Thank
Honor.
you, counsel.
Thank you.
Who's here on Sotomayor? All right, if you all are ready. All right, how do you pronounce your first name? Jalen, okay. Court is calling 2024 CR 011865, State of Texas versus Gynalen Cruz Sotomayor.
Gynalen Sotomayor.
Gynalen.
Gynalen.
All right, Gynalen Sotomayor. Could I have parties announced for the record? State,
Megan Galloway for the state.
Will Brooks for Miss Sotomayor, Judge.
and are you Miss Sotomayor?
Sotomayor, yes.
All right. I'm sorry, my Louisiana accent is just all over the place today. Counsel, have you received all discovery? Did you review it with your client?
Yes, Judge.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Going to show you the application for deferred adjudication. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And sign it.
Oh. Yes.
All right.
So,
Did you review the true bill of indictment with your attorney? Did you understand it? Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, we do, Judge.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you review the court admonishments with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes.
Did you understand you're charged with possession of a controlled substance penalty group 1, 4 to 200 grams? That's a second-degree felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand? If you have a plea with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
yes.
You have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call in the right to remain silent. Did you understand? By entering this plea, you're giving up those rights. Did you understand? And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes.
All right. Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty and sentence you up to 20 years in prison and up to $10,000 fine?
Yes.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe she has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against her?
I do, Judge.
Do you believe she's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Sotomayor, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea? Anyone promised you anything other than the plea? Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented? Are you a U.S. citizen? Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived her right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes.
According to the plea, there's a $2,000 fine. State recommends deferred adjudication. They're taking in consideration 2024 PF 13382. Did you understand that to be the plea? Defense is at the plea?
Yes, it is, Judge.
State is at the plea.
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you review the waive of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in both places?
Yes.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes.
Counsel, are there been any such motions?
No, Judge.
Outside the agreement, the state is recommending that your deferred adjudication be for a term of 5 years. There be a TAP evaluation, 125 hours of community service restitution, No contact with 1129 Austin Highway, 78209. There's to be a mental health evaluation and MRT. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes.
Then to the offenses charge, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest? State any evidence.
State offers state's exhibit number 1 and attachment.
No objections to states one and attachments,
All right,
Judge.
state, you may be excused. Did you review the waivers with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places? Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there'll be no live testimony? Did you understand? Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. Court will defer finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. All right, proceeding with sentencing.
Yes, Judge, we'll wait PSI.
All right, anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Your Honor, the only thing I would ask is if the court considered probating the fine. She's been in custody since August, so she'll be getting back on her feet when she gets out of custody. She does have a plan. She'll be going to Haven, Judge, but the court could give her that consideration. I think it would help her be successful.
All right, how old are you?
24.
Do you have any children?
No.
Do you have any family support?
No.
Where is your family?
Some of them stay in the area, some of them move, but I don't really talk to them as much anymore.
Why not? And I'm asking these questions so I can discover what's going on with you because I have to set conditions for you. And I want to set conditions for you where you will be successful.
Well, actually, I choose not to speak on them. So.
Okay. So my other question is, why were you at this hotel?
It was somewhere I was residing at first before like all complaints or whatever, but it was somewhere I was residing until I moved into this new house. I was supposed to be moving in with my sister. But I don't know if they moved in or not yet though.
So you have contact with your sister?
Yeah.
And does your sister have any children?
Not that I know of.
So are your parents still alive?
Not really one.
So, Judge, I can enlighten the court.
Yes.
Dad lives here.
Mhm.
Dad was military.
Okay.
And they moved down from Temple about 2 years ago, but she doesn't really want to burden her family with her personal problems. She was, the motel itself is more of like a long-term residence place, so she was staying with a guy that was there, correct? Staying at that hotel.
With a guy? Were
with
you were you staying at that hotel by yourself or with someone?
No, I was with two. That was my my uncle.
There were a couple of people in that room. That, from what I gathered, Judge, from the evidence, the staff was familiar with her and the family and these people that were living there. They were the ones that called the cops, Judge.
All right, so you were staying with 2 uncles?
Mhm.
Are those your biological uncles?
I was
Or
adopted,
just, okay.
so no, just like
So are they your adopted uncles or no?
I'd say
Well, I mean, either they are or they're not.
they are.
Okay, so you were adopted
Mhm.
and the 2 uncles you were staying with in the hotel are your uncles through that adoption?
Yes.
I don't know the answer to that one, Judge.
So do you think maybe this is an Esperanza issue? Because I'm concerned with the 2 uncles.
You know, Judge, what I do know is that we talked a little bit about decision making and sometimes going back to places where you're using drugs triggers that, and being around people that can trigger that. I didn't gather that there was any sort of trafficking situation going on, Judge. I do know that she's to have no contact with this area as a condition of the probation if the judge should choose to follow our bargain.
When's the last time you were employed?
2 years ago.
Doing what?
I was a waitress.
And how long have you been homeless?
Um, just recently, because I was staying with those two, and then, like, as soon as I came in here, I decided just to go towards.
Have you ever had any mental health diagnosis or anything of that nature? Ever been to see a psychiatrist or anything of that nature? And how often were you using, and we'll just say in the past?
Every day.
And what were you using? Okay. And when you were in the hotel, was that part of what maybe caused all of this, the drug use?
No,
Okay,
not at all.
all right. And how far did you go in school?
I graduated.
All right, so what is your dream job?
Dream job. I don't really have one.
I mean, if you have to work, if you're not independently wealthy, where would you like to work?
In all honesty, anywhere. Anywhere
All
I
right,
could
so
make
here's the
it.
thing. While you're on probation, I want you to think about what your dream job is. Because unless we're independently wealthy, we're going to have to work unless we find somebody who chooses to support us not working. And people always say, if you can earn money at your job and enjoy it, that's a great life to have. So I'm going to want you to discover what's a job you would enjoy that you can earn a living at. You understand? All right. Court will sentence you to a $2,000 fine. That will be probated. 4 years deferred adjudication. Proof of employment within 90 days. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. No unsupervised contact with minors. There's to be no contact with 1129 Austin Highway, San Antonio, Texas, 78209. And let me see what the name of that location is. The Roadway Inn, RODEWAYINN. Regular reporting by Zoom or in person. The UA hotline. I'm going to want the following done in custody: a referral to Esperanza Court. And if we could do that in this order: referral to Esperanza Court, and then felony drug court. And if we could do a MIC evaluation. And is there some place that could help her with housing? Because I'm concerned about whoever these two uncles are. Would it just be Haven?
For now.
All right, Haven for Hope. And there'll be 200 hours of community service restitution. I'll waive the 200 hours if she obtains some sort of trade school certificate, or if she attains some higher level of education. Field visits 1 time per month until further notice. And take in consideration 2024 PF 13382. I don't feel as though this is an MRT issue. Does probation, do you think this is a moral recognition therapy situation?
I'm not aware.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think that's the case. I think it's a homeless issue, drug issue, she's adopted issue, and then living with some two uncles at a hotel. I think those are the issues. All right, is there anything else she needs? All right, is there anything else you need from the court to be successful?
No.
All right, did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendants' Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it? All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, we can go off the record. In this court, to be successful, make sure that you stay in contact with probation. If you feel like you can't reach them or something else is coming up, you can always come back to court. Your attorney wants you to be successful. The state wants you to be successful. I want you to be successful. Okay? All right, good luck to you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, yes, you can approach now. I finally wrote this in.
Your Honor, I'm here with defense counsel. We're here on Dominic Nicholson. He is set tomorrow
Mhm.
for trial. He's got two cases. 2 ag assault deadly weapons, 2 different victims. The case, into the case numbers, one ends in 5-9, one ends in 6-0. Our victim in 5-9 is also a witness in cause number 6-0. He is in the hospital right now and has had surgery, and he will be out for, he'll be in the hospital for 10 days, for another 10 days due to that surgery. So obviously on the one where he is a victim, the state would be asking for continuance. But also in the case where he is a witness, the state would also be asking for continuance. And so we just wanted to bring that to the court's attention. I do believe defense counsel is gonna object.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, so, and your client will be here tomorrow?
Yeah.
So I'll have to take your motion up tomorrow because her client needs to be present.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, thanks for letting me know.
Yes.
Yeah, just one.
Zachary, DK? Dyke, okay. Come forward. Okay, see, here's another name. What I learned in elementary school was when 2 vowels go walking, the first one does the talking. No, in his name, the second one is talking. The first one is silent. So I'm gonna remember it. Zachary Dyke,
Dyke.
Dyke, okay.
Dyke.
Court is,
So I'm told.
okay. My grandmother would always say that. She would always say, you just know this is the date you're born on because that's what I'm telling you, really. You know, there's some things only your parent would know.
They told me you're from Louisiana. Is
Yes.
that right?
That's
Yes.
this
Where
one,
at?
okay.
Where are you from?
My mom's from Arcadia.
Ah, okay. And I know you're telling the truth because you said it right. All right. Court is calling 2023 CR 5173 State versus Zachary Albert Dyke. Could I have the parties announced for the record? State.
Megan Galloway for the state.
Lorraine Efron from Mr. Dyke.
Are you Mr. Dyke?
Zachary Albert Dyke.
All right.
Dyke.
Counsel, have you received all discovery?
Yes,
Did you review it with your client?
yes,
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Are there any applications?
no,
All right. Did you review the true bill of indictment with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
yes.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
No, Your Honor, wish to waive count 3 and proceed on counts 1 and 2.
Objection.
All right. So the way it's listed in the indictment that I have, it's paragraph A, B, and C. So is there a different indictment? This is what I have.
So
Oh, yeah, I don't think that,
that would be correct, Your Honor, because so we'll proceed on paragraphs A and B and waive paragraphs. But I will need to change that. in the paper.
Okay. Well, does anyone have any objection to it being labeled as count 1, count 2, and count 3 in the indictment as opposed to A, B, and C?
No, not from the state.
no, Your Honor.
All right. So, State, are you moving to change paragraph A to count 1, paragraph B to count 2, and paragraph C to count 3?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any objection?
No,
All right, Mr. Dyke, what they're doing is they're just changing the label of each paragraph. Do you have any objection to that?
No,
They're
Your Honor.
not changing the substance of the indictment, just the way that it is numbered. All right. So, State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented? Which paragraph, which counts are you waiving?
Your Honor, we are waiving count 3 and proceeding on counts 1 and 2.
Any objection?
No, Your Honor.
That you review the document entitled Court Admonishments with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand? And count 1, you're charged with arson with intent to damage a habitation or place of worship.
Yes, Your
And
Honor.
in count 2, you're charged also with arson with intent to damage a habitat or place of worship.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, do you understand those are first-degree felonies?
Yes, Your Honor.
And the range of punishment is anywhere from 5 to 99 years or life in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
I accept the jury's verdict on that matter, Your Honor.
So you did have a jury trial?
Yes, we did.
All right.
But I do think he's competent.
Mr. Dyke, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, Your Honor.
Anyone promise you anything other than the plea?
No, Your Honor.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
According to the plea, state is proceeding on count 1 and 2. They are asking that your punishment be assessed at 8 years in the prison in both counts. There's a $2,000 fine and there are no applications. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense, is that the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, is that the plea?
It is, Your Honor.
Did you review the document? I'm sorry, did you review the paragraph entitled Waiver of Appeal paragraph with your attorney? I'm sorry.
Yes.
It's the waiver of appeal paragraph?
I believe so. Yes, Your Honor.
Well, let me show it to you.
Yes.
It's that,
It's no appeal.
yes. All right. Did you understand that?
Yes.
All right. Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal?
Yes, Your
The
Honor.
only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
Well, there was that competency jury trial, a few things like that, but
All right.
other than
Then to count 1, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
Count 2, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State any evidence?
State offers states exhibit number 1 and attachments.
no objection.
Did you review the document entitled Waiver and Consent to Stipulations with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
And did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports? But most importantly, there'll be no live testimony. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same. Well, I understand what you're saying, but the disagreements with that.
Yes. And to that end, I actually made a notation in the paperwork because it generally says you believe your client was legally sane at the time, and we're not urging that defense, but I wouldn't be, want to be saying that I couldn't urge it under different circumstances. That makes sense.
All right. Well, I don't step behind jury's verdicts. They're saying he was saying it.
It were competent at the time.
Well, they're saying he's
competent-
competent at the time.
Competent now. Sanity would be a trial defense.
Yeah.
And we're not urging that trial defense.
All right.
Does that make sense?
Yes, but I see that there, you know, in really reading this police report, where
Had to
he
do-
thought someone was God.
It had to do with medication, Your Honor.
Oh, okay.
My medication got all messed up and I wasn't in my right state of mind at the time. And like, I know that 100%. Like at that time, I was not in my right state of mind. And whenever I came into the jail, I wasn't in my right state of mind either because I've been in recovery for a long time and I was on maintenance meds, methadone. And I was detoxing off of those medications whenever I came in here. And I didn't have the right medications being in the thing, but I've been in here for 2 years now and I'm really level headed now. But when I first came in here, I was not right.
There was an initial, well, let me put it this way. There was an initial finding of an agreed incompetent to stand trial. Let me restate this. So the jury trial was on the issue of whether he had been restored to competency. And I contested that, much to my client's disagreement. And the jury did find that he had been restored and that he was now competent. And so that's what put us back on your trial docket today. So it was pending quite a while he was in restoration posture.
All right, so here's my question, and I don't want to go behind anybody's agreements that they've worked out. I normally don't do it. But I'm reading the police report,
I know.
and I know that sometimes that people are using drugs, and that's not a defense. I use drugs and I got bad drugs, so therefore I'm hallucinating. But I see that there are issues where who knows, maybe the behavior wouldn't have been what it was, because what I'm reading is he admits to it, and it says he stated that he set it up, that everything had been set up when Flores got pregnant. When asked who Flores was, he stated she was God and he was God and the baby in her named Jesus. And then he said, I lit it up and it went up. And he's like, I think it was the table.
And Your
And
Honor,
this has, wait,
sorry.
this has been an ongoing setup and they've been telling me fire and water. When asked what he used to light the fire, he said a lighter. When asked what he was thinking after he lit the fire, that was the old me, it's gone. Then it was a new me. That's what they're telling me, that the old me and I have to leave it all behind. So what was set on fire was a table, a chair, and a bed. So what is his criminal history?
Your Honor. Can I say one
Do
thing
you,
real
do
quick?
you feel as though you're losing this argument?
No. I just
Then why
want to
you're
say,
adding?
I just want
Then
to say
you
that
may
there's,
not want to add. I'm trying to figure out certain things here. Yes.
I'm trying to help. you.
Stop.
Yeah.
She didn't ask you.
But going to what the court has.
And mind you, I'm all for following agreements. I'm just trying to get to the bottom of, you know, my determination is whether agreements are appropriate or not.
But I have taken into consideration the court's concerns as well, and that's something that we have conferred about alternatives, and we just wound up
Okay.
where we are. So regarding his criminal history, he does have, so like a misdemeanor estate, from 2007, UCW from 2017, a PG3 possession less than 28 grams from 2020, a resisting arrest from 2020, a possession PG1 less than a gram from 2017. The offense that we're here for today, a possession PG1 1 to 4 from 2017, 4 to 200 possession, PG 1 from 2018. A possession of marijuana, 5 to 50 pounds from 2020. And then, PV 3/4 above 28 grams from 2017. And sorry, that was out of order.
Yeah.
No, no, no.
And I think most of those did not result in convictions. Many were dismissed or otherwise resolved. So I think what would actually, I mean, I know you're just reading about arrests or bookings, but I think in terms of like what is actually in terms of conviction or,
Nothing.
yeah.
So
I don't think he has any.
that would be correct. So he was only placed on deferred adjudication for a misdemeanor resisting.
All right.
He has almost 2 years credit pending incompetency restoration. So he's been in custody quite a while, which was another factor in our discussions today. As far as I can ascertain, I don't see that this becomes a 3G in any way. I
Okay.
can't represent when he would get paroled, but just that he would have what it appears to be normal parole eligibility.
All right. And in the,
In his I mean, there was a lot of contact during the pendency of the competency proceedings with the DA's office and the family, and we had a pretty intense trial on the issue.
all right. So what is this with regards to the complainant listed is Dyke as well? Who is
Mom.
that?
Mom,
His mom.
uh-huh.
And is she aware of this?
Judge, so I didn't reach out to her today. Hearing the competence.
She testified.
Did reach out and, I have correspondence from her where she's requesting treatment from the defendant. But like I said, that was explored, in our negotiations.
She did testify. I think I think as you can imagine, many parents would be, highly conflicted here. This was serious. She bought this for him, whether it was hers or his by gift, might be a dispute, but nevertheless, it was her funds that paid for it and it's gone, destroyed to the ground. She's obviously loves her son, very concerned about him. And so I think she would be, she doesn't expect restitution. I think it was covered by insurance. I'm not sure.
There was no insurance claim on it, but it was
All right.
actually.
As I can say, this is what I'm saying. And I will follow your agreement. There's some times where I may think, this is very harsh. There may be some times where I think this is not harsh enough. And I'm just trying to discover, is this a prison case? Is it not a prison case? That's what I'm trying to get to the bottom to. Sometimes when people commit offenses, does it appear that you're losing this argument?
No, I just want to say
Okay.
a few things because you're saying that.
No, can you just wait? Because she's
Okay.
the judge and she's speaking.
I understand.
All
If
right.
you don't mind.
So sometimes there are reasons maybe why people do things. And then sometimes you have somebody, they're just a bad apple. This is just what they're going to do. As the attorney was in here saying that raccoons and other animals just come in and destroy chicken, well, coyotes, I think you said, destroy chicken for no reason, not hungry, just like, why not? So I'm struggling a little bit with this one because based upon what I'm reading, there's mental health issues. Maybe those mental health issues were drug induced. If that is, you got to stop using drugs. So if you all want, I will follow this agreement. State, I know you are asking me to follow this agreement. Do you all want to discuss some more or?
I can discuss with Ron some more, but I do want the court to know.
Yes.
Your impressions are not lost on me. There are things that I did.
Okay.
Not saying that I'm going against you, but.
No.
What we talked about as well, but we can talk.
Oh, and let me just tell you, go against me. I'm fine with that because I want to hear everything, the good, the bad, the ugly, because I'm trying to
I can go to
make a
halfway.
decision that I think is appropriate. So if you feel like this is appropriate
Friends.
and you both feel like this is appropriate, then I'll go along with it. I just have certain questions. So if y'all want to, what I can do, we're getting close to 5 and the deputies need to take him back. So if y'all want, I can have this recalled tomorrow and the plea will still be here.
That's fine. Right, we can't request them until we pass the.
Okay. Well, we can have him by Zoom, right?
Or by tomorrow, late morning or afternoon? I mean, I may be here.
All right. Yeah, let's see.
Okay,
We'll say tomorrow, maybe by Zoom, if
Okay.
he can't be requested. I think it's better to do that than to
I,
rush judgment.
yes, in, well. what's this?
All right, we'll recall tomorrow. And Ms. Efron, if you want his mother maybe by Zoom to give everybody some more insights into this, that would be great. All right, thank you. We'll see
Okay.
y'all tomorrow.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Zachary Dyke,
We're ready.
and you're proceeding with the plea as presented?
Yes.
All right, the court is calling 2023 CR 5173, State of Texas versus Zachary Dyke. Can I have parties announced for the record?
Lorraine Efren for Mr. Dyke.
And are you Mr. Dyke?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so we had reset this because the court had some concerns about the offer and whether or not this offer was in the interest of justice or at the best offer to protect the community and also get Mr. Dyke the help that he needs. Defense, did you have an ample opportunity to discuss these issues with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
And are you asking to proceed with the plea bargain agreement as presented?
Yes, Your Honor.
And Mr. Dyke, are you asking the court to follow the plea bargain agreement as presented?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, then the court will, as previously stated, the court will find you guilty of count 1 and count 2. Count 1 and 2 is to run concurrently. The court will sentence you to 8 years in the prison in count 1 and count 2. You get credit for any time served. There's a $2,000 fine, time and money to run concurrent. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendants' Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
And counsel, I'll also add the therapeutic community.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
All right, good luck to you. Make better choices.
And
Watch, we're on the scene. Truths unravel, and what does it mean? In the halls where stories clash, Oouchie court watch quick as a flash.